Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 22nd of March. Thanks for joining me. I want to use the tarot of the cat people for today's reading. So let me just show you what these look like. This is a really quirky deck, and what I really like is the clothing. It's so rich and decorative and beautiful. And then you've got all these quirky characters in this deck. I think it's fascinating, these cards. Really unusual. Look how cute that little leopard is. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say about Wednesday the 22nd and what this day is all about. Okay, so first card is the Five of Wands, which we had recently. The Knight of Wands. Okay, so it's all systems go here. And then finally, oh, I just want to shuffle them once more. Final card in here. Eight of Cups, which has also been showing up a lot lately. Okay, so we've got a couple of big themes here. Five of Wands is about joy and competition and petty conflict and learning about yourself by comparing yourself to others in a way that's actually constructive and helpful. Usually it's five boys playing, and it's just about revealing your own strength or your own talents by using them, by being active and by seeing, oh, actually I'm good at this and I'm not so great at this. So the Five of Wands is very much about momentum and movement and life purpose and discovering about yourself. Five in numerology is freedom. So I really think there's a sense of optimism when it comes to, okay, these are my options in life. This is what I really care about. What direction do I want to go in? Almost like, in this case, this man who's juggling all these five wands, it seems like it's an energy where you certainly are motivated and interested in what you're going to do in future. And you've got so many good things to choose from that it may feel like you're juggling them and it's almost too much of a good thing. The Knight of Wands is a court card. So this will appear as a person or as a characteristic on this day. And the Knight of Wands is someone who's actively pursuing his life purpose, his mission in life. And because he's not quite in charge of the element just yet, the kings and queens are in charge, the knight in charge, the knights aren't. When things go wrong, there can be a lot of destructive fallout if he misuses the fire energy. So it's good if it's being put in a particular direction. So I want to pursue this life purpose, for instance, of building my own business. If he has a goal and he's able to work towards that and do very well, but if there are setbacks, the Knight of Wands can become very angry and throw his or her toys out of the pram. And because it's in the element of fire, that's kind of dangerous because then things start to burn and then they are destroyed and what's left is ashes. So with the Knight of Wands here, you're again certainly not going to be lacking motivation or energy, but I think the thing to watch out for is blowing up over things that aren't really important, because I think on this day it can have a negative impact on your relationships. I think you're so focused on what you can be doing and how interesting different things are that you're overly focused on achieving these goals, and the relationship side of things, I think, is at priority level number 2. So if a relationship is a little bit shaky already, and then someone you're connected with notices that you're absolutely uninterested and you're just doing your own thing, and then on top of that, if things don't work out, you might get angry or grumpy or whatever it may be, can put a huge amount of strain on a relationship. And this is interesting because the Eight of Cups is someone who's walking away from good things that they know are good things in their own life. And it's kind of done reluctantly. So he's walking away, but he's looking back and he's saying, okay, what am I leaving? So the cards are kind of saying to me that you're very, very strong in pursuing your own path at the moment. But try not to neglect your relationships or continue to consider the feelings of other people today, because I think there may be a major disconnect and you may not see how a relationship has become strained, and because your focus is elsewhere, it might take you by surprise. And on this day, you're like, oh, you're not coming over? I've treated you really neglectfully, and maybe I've even been a little bit irritable. But now this is the reality. You're not going to come over. And that's what it is. It's these actions today have consequences. So make sure that you treat other people the way you would like to be treated. Yeah. So what have we got here? We've got the Five of Wands. So we've got this man dancing, and then we've got the little cat holding on. So it's an opportunity to really create a new chapter in your life. But the important thing is to edit down here and to pick so that you don't feel like you're tripping all over yourself. The Knight of Wands will give you the opportunity to really make a lot of extreme progress. So the good thing about not mastering the element is that the Knight is so volatile, and even though she can get angry and be very unproductive and even destructive, when she does achieve and when she's focused, she can create these exceptional things that you couldn't even have imagined. So it is important to focus on your mission and to dream big and to say, what is it that I'm interested in and what do I want to pursue? Because you can make a lot of progress. And once the Knight of Wands achieves her mission, she becomes the Queen of Wands. So there's a lot of personal growth available to you here in the element of fire, which has to do with what motivates you and with what you're passionate about in life. With the Eight of Cups, this is the element of water. Water is about connection, connection to the higher realms, connection to other people, connection with your own imagination, with your own intuition. So it's the creative process, it's nurturing family members, it's being in love. All of these things are governed by cups. So with the Eight of Cups, where the man is walking away, usually the cups are still upright. And each cup represents a great thing in life that makes you feel connected. So a loving family, a partner, a job that you absolutely adore. It's things that make you feel like you're home. In this deck, it's really unique because 7 of the cups have spilled and 1 cup is upright. So it doesn't really make sense that he's so regretful, because if 7 cups have spilled, 7 things have gone really wrong and have been lost. 1 is still upright. It makes sense to walk away from a situation which is totally broken and empty, or, 90% broken and empty. It usually the cards are full and the person walks away from all these good things because there's this innate desire internally that says, hey, you have to go find your dream, you have to go find your mission. Make sacrifices for that dream, and if it's painful walking away from these things, then that's okay. It's worth the pain for the promise of something even better, right? So if the card is like that, then it's like, oh yes, okay, I understand walking away can be difficult and sacrifices aren't easy. But here, this person should be sprinting away, not like slinking away. And we've got 1 cup. So, I don't know. If I were this guy, I'd pick up the 1 cup and go on my merry way, pick up the cat, give her a sip of whatever's in there and have a grand old time. So really, in this case, the cards are saying there may be certain things in your life, that haven't worked for a while and that you should have walked away from ages ago, because either you haven't put the energy into it, or the other person, or the situation, but ultimately it's not something that thrills and delights you. So if something like that is in your life still on this day, then with the volatility of these 2 cards, it's very likely that then something can happen that makes the person or the thing that no longer functions effectively in your life, makes them walk away for the final time. So if you don't want to lose anything or anybody, or make sure everything stays exactly as is, make sure you focus a little bit more on your relationships, because I think there's some tension there or something might snap. But don't let yourself be completely derailed from focusing on your mission, because that's where you can make the most progress. And ultimately, if something isn't meant to be in your life anymore, then sometimes it's okay to say, okay, well, even though it is a loss of some sort. You know, like even relationships that aren't like rosy all the time, often they're familiar and you have a shared history. So there's usually a reason to kind of tolerate something that no longer works for you. And if that's the case and you lose it on this day, then I would say question before you try and reconnect or make it work again. Maybe it's okay that it exits your life. Number-wise, we've got 5 and 1 is 6. And 8 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. And 5 is freedom. So that's kind of interesting, and I don't want to get too much into that. Freedom versus loss, you know? But ultimately, there's an opportunity to make your life richer and freer and more abundant. And part of the process is walking away from certain things that aren't going to be a part of that future happiness. So if you do experience any loss on this day, try and see it for what it is. It's probably meant to happen. And not to lament it too much, but instead, to pick up the cup, the cat, and to go on your merry way. That's the way I would manage this. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with on this day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.